Today I'm gonna talk at you about my special interest, none other than the Tamagotchi. Okay, so I'm gonna do a tier list. We're gonna rank every version of Tamagotchi that I have ever played. I have played pretty much every version of the Connection era and some of the Color era. And if you don't know what that means, I will explain as we go. But yeah, what you need to know is that Tamagotchi came out in 1996 in Japan, basically. Came out in 1997 in America, but I was only just born in 1997, and so I started collecting Tamagotchis during the second era, when they kind of came back in 2004. In 2004, I was in first grade, and basically, from the moment I saw my kindergarten first grade friend pull one out of her backpack, I was intrigued, and I'm still intrigued to this day. So I'm going to rank them for you, and I'm going to tell you what I think. Okay, so we're starting off with the version 1, obviously. Version 1 came out in 2004 for the US. I'm going to focus on US releases, by the way, because obviously I'm in America. So for 2004, the version 1 came out for us. As I discussed earlier, that was first grade for me. Currently, right now, the cheapest version 1 on the market is $30. So basically, the version 1 is just the basic one. It's the very most basic. I mean, it's this exact same game as what is being sold on shelves right now in 2025 as the reproductions. The reproductions are the same as the version 1. So yeah, it's just basic, and I mean, it is kind of the most boring. But also, it's the most classic. Weight was still included for the version 1, so that means that your Tamagotchi could get fat, and that forced you to play more games. For this version, you have to turn out the lights when your Tamagotchi goes to sleep, or if you don't, it's a care mistake. But the fact that this version only has all killer, no filler when it comes to the character roster. I mean, it only has the most classic, iconic Tamagotchi characters like Memechi, Mimichi, Kuchipachi. That really helps its ranking because version 1 may be the most boring, but it's not going to be the worst one on this list, okay? I guess I'm going to be putting it in C. C tier. I mean, if I was going to go out and buy one, I would not be buying a version 1. But it was a magical time at the time, obviously. Okay, up next we've got the version 2. The version 2 is basically pretty much just like the version 1. But they added some really ugly characters. Also, the version 2 introduces shopping and gotchi points for the first time. Okay, so now we have currency involved. Version 2 is the first time that all of the adult characters had favorite foods. That helps us because it helps us boost their happiness faster. Tamagotchi version 2 was released in 2005 for US, and the cheapest on the market right now is $30. Again, version 2 is like, I mean, well, I guess there needs to be something said for the shop function being added. Other than that, it's very unremarkable, version 2. I mean, in comparison to everything we have now. But at the time, it was so fun. I mean, back in 2005, it was so fun. I mean, I was in second grade when the version 2 came out. So, I guess it's slightly better than version 1, but I guess we'll put her there for now. B tier. Next up, we're doing version 3. Version 3 holds very fond memories for me. Okay, so the version 3 was released in 2006 for the US, so I was in third grade. And the cheapest one on the market right now is $22. Maybe I'll get one. I actually don't have version 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to show you my collection, but I don't have version 1, 2, or 3 because I was a little entrepreneurial spirit in primary school, and I sold some off when I thought I'd grown out of them. So that's on me. But I guess I could get a version 3 for very cheap. Okay, so it's very much like the version 2, except it introduces the companion website, which is called Tamatown, because it's 2006. So we're online. Now there's a companion website, and that made it like. That turned Tamagotchi from something you just check throughout the day for a minute, because that's really all there is to do is just check it. That turned it from that into something you could spend hours doing, because you could spend hours on Tamatown getting stuff for your Tamagotchi. Honestly, game changer. Some things that the version 3 introduced: giving donations to the Gotchi King, as if he needs our money. Introduced the feature of looking through a memory book of your past dead Tamagotchis. I did deeply love this version, and yeah, I spent a ton of time on the internet, hogging my family's dial-up internet to be on Tamatown. You know I did. I mean, this one is really good. I think it's better than these two. You know what? Maybe version 2 belongs down here, actually. Okay, so next up we're going to be talking about version 4. There's a lot to say about version 4 because I saw fans say that this was the peak of Tamagotchi. This version introduced preschool, school, and employment. In version 4, your Tamagotchi has to get a jarb. Your jarb depends on skill points. You get skill points based on what games you play. The jorb itself is a mini game, and there are 15 possible ones you can get. And if you don't train up enough, your Tamagotchi won't get a job, and they will bring disgrace to your household, ultimately. Yeah, so they can get rejected though, basically. They're not guaranteed to get a job. You have to work for it. This version introduced mail services, so your Tamagotchi can get fortunes, mail, and notices. Back in 2007 and right now in 2025, the mail feature seemed pretty pointless because you either get a little heart and your Tamagotchi is happy, or you get a little poop and your Tamagotchi is pissed. Okay, for this version, your character's evolution does not only depend on what it eats and how well you take care of it, it now also depends on what skill points you get. So that means what games you play. Tamatown is still up and running for this version. It is thriving, honestly. Tamatown is about to hit its peak in 2007. This is just something I thought was cute. The senior citizens in version 4 do not continue working. The Gotchi King gives them a cane announcing their retirement. And if the user tries to select work after they're retired, they will take a stroll through Tamagotchi Town and stop by where they previously worked. That's cute. Yeah, this version introduced a cell phone, so now your Tamagotchi can talk to their parents or grandparents. I guess this version is kind of infamous for having a lot of glitches, too, especially when it comes to the matchmaker. Version 4 is really... I mean, she did that. She really is that girl. I tried my best to cover up the ads for the tier list, but the am I gay test right now. The am I gay test right now. Anyways, so yeah, where do I put the version 4? You know what? I guess these three can really all be on the same level because I wouldn't really be interested in buying it. I guess I would buy them if they were a good deal, but like, I would rather have a version 4. The version 4 can get a job. It's easier to get money. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so the Tamagotchi version 4 was released in 2007 for the US, and the cheapest one on the market is $36 right this second. Okay, so next up we have the Tamagotchi Connection version 4.5, which was released in 2007, and the cheapest one on the market is $110. Yes, you heard that right. The version 4, the cheapest one on the market is $36, but the version 4.5, which is just an alternate version of the version 4, jumps up in price. I've got this is a version 4, the one with the round thing is a version 4. This one was actually my sister's, but I have it now. And these are 4.5s. The 4.5s have the little star on it and antenna, but this one, my favorite one, the cheetah print 4.5, her star fell off somewhere along the way. So they're very well loved, really well loved. I mean, they're from 2007, you know, so basically the only difference between the 4.5 and the 4 is that the 4.5 got additional characters and jobs. That's it. I mean, that one really is, it's incredible. The 4.5 was really good. It was the best of all of the connections. Yeah, well, I take that back. Yeah, she's good right there. She's good right there. Okay, let's move on to one that I don't think so highly of. Version 5, Famalichi. Spoiler, she's going to be in D tier. I saved the D tier just for this one. Okay, the Tamagotchi Connection version 5, Famalichi, was released in 2008 for the US. Cheapest one on the market right now is $150 at the time of filming. So yeah, she was released in 2008. And as we all know, 2008 was tough for a lot of reasons. But for me, a 5th grader, it was tough because this version of Tamagotchi sucked. They completely overhauled everything we knew about Tamagotchi. They said, we're not taking care of just one anymore. You're going to take care of a whole family of Tamagotchis. It was weird. It was different. Here's my Famalichi version 5. I feel that it is visibly less worn than my other Tamagotchis because you can tell I didn't like it. This one just did not capture me. It was a lot. And I thought it was too different from what we were used to. You start with 3 eggs. You can have up to 5 on the screen in the household at one time. There's a family bonding function, which basically replaces the happiness meter. It's basically the collective happiness of the house instead of the happiness of your character, and it's higher, and your family is more bonded the more games you play. Shopping, dating, and travel are now done through the TV, and I think that's notable in 2008. Before that, in all the previous versions, you went to the shop physically, the matchmaker met you physically, and then in 2008 we started doing these things through the TV. Okay, so Tamatown has been going, but now the companion website that goes with version 5 is called Tama and Earth Expo, and it's a different site entirely. And I don't really know much about it because, yeah, like I said, I didn't really like version 5, so I didn't spend as much time on it. I didn't spend hours and hours on it like I did on Tamatown for the previous versions. Famalichi, yeah, you belong down there, Famalichi. Next up, we're going to talk about my girl, my queen, Queen Bee, Music Star. This is the best of the connections. I'm struggling with S or A tier. Because I play this one still to this day. It's the only one out of all of these that I've played to this day. All of these that we've mentioned so far. Out of the connection era. If you don't know what I mean by that, basically Tamagotchi is split up into eras. There was an era before 2004, and I forget what it's called. Probably the classic era or something. And then the second era is the connections, which started in 2004 and ended with the Tamagotchi Music Star. And then there was the color era, which is called that because that was when the color screens happened. So we're talking about the old era, the not color screens. And so she's the best of that era. Music Star. I mean, I still play it to this day. And here's mine. I chose to use the stock image for the exact same one as mine because I just really love her. Like, this is super... I love it so deeply. I was playing it recently. I mean, I got bored of it, and I always just take the batteries out when I get bored because these are old, old, old toys, and the battery will obviously ruin them if I leave it in there for years. So for now, I'm gonna put that one there because it's not my favorite Tamagotchi of all time, but it's close. Okay, so the Tamagotchi Connection version 6 Music Star was released in 2008, and the cheapest on the market right now, right this second, is $305. First ever Tamagotchi Connection to not have a Japanese equivalent. It's a lot like the V4, but it is music themed, and you basically raise your Tamagotchi to become a music star, which is really fun. So basically, it's the same thing where they have to get skill points by playing games, except the games are music themed, the skill points are music themed, and instead of getting a job, they are hoping to get signed by a label. In school, they like form a band with two other schoolmates, and that is the band that they're hoping to get signed. So you have to play and play and play and make sure their skill points are up and make sure the band practices enough together so that your Tamagotchi isn't a flop and so that they can get signed. You could change out what instruments each character of the band played, and that was really cute and fun too. Every Tamagotchi was born with a favorite instrument that they would perform the best with, and they're also born with a favorite toy. And you really had to like just finally balance how much you let the Tamagotchi play with the toy versus play with the instrument. Because when it plays with the instrument, it gets more skill points, but also more stress. And then when you have it play with toys, the stress goes down, but also the skill points go down. So, yeah, it's a fun one. It's really fun. Like, okay, so I'll put it like this. If you're thinking of getting a Tamagotchi connection, I mean, if money was no option, get the version 6. But like I just said, they're $305 right now. So maybe consider a version 4. I guess they're worth so much because they're loved. I mean, I don't know. It's a great game. It's a very good iteration of the Tamagotchi game, in my opinion. This version also had a companion website called Music City, by the way. Oh, and Music City is the very first Tamagotchi companion website to be open world, so that means other players from all over would be in there with their little avatars. Kind of groundbreaking back in 2008, if I'm being honest. I was in 6th grade, so I was becoming a scene girl by now. And the Music Star really fit perfectly with that aesthetic. Music City was awesome because you could interact with the other players and you could get your own apartment and you could decorate it. That is every version of the Connection era that I have experience with. The next era of Tamagotchi is the Color era. And I only have 3 versions from this era. So let's review those now. Let's start with the Tamagotchi On, which was released in 2019 for the US, and the cheapest on the market right now is $250. Here's my On. I crocheted this little thingy for it. It's purple. I love this thing to death. I love it to death. There's no batteries in it because I love it to death and I don't want it to get corroded. Also, they're really, really expensive. For some reason, the On is just a very... For some reason, the On is just expensive, and it has been expensive since it came out. Here's why it's my favorite. The On contains a game mechanic that I really like that's called gene mixing, and it means that this is the first Tamagotchi where all of their traits are interchangeable and they can mix and match traits from their 2 parents. And I love that game mechanic so much because obviously, like, it's no secret that Tamagotchis get boring after a while, right? Like, after a few generations, you get bored of it. And I just think that the On combats that the best because you will never get the same character twice. And it's always, you're constantly trying to get the cutest character possible, breed the cutest character possible. And like, it just keeps me hooked a lot longer. And it keeps the gameplay fresh a lot longer for me. So that is why the On is my favorite. This one introduced twins. You can have twins. This version had a lot of games. And so now instead of a website, this is 2019, so instead of a website, we've got an app. There's a Tamagotchi On app, and it was amazing. It was open world. You could meet other people who were playing, and you could get married through the app, which was amazing because then you had all these options for marriable candidates, and so that means that it was super easy to just like try and make the cutest baby possible. You could even marry and have babies with Sanrio characters. Yes, your Tamagotchi could inherit Pom Pom Purin's silly little body. Or Hello Kitty's bow on it. I mean, I don't know what you could have asked for more, and to me, in my opinion, I think that the On may have been the peak for me. And I saved S2 for S tier. I saved S tier for the On. It keeps you interested the longest. It's the cutest looking one on here, in my opinion. It is a little big. We're now getting into big Tamagotchis, you know, compared to the connections. On to the next one, which is the Tamagotchi Pix. Released in 2021 for the US, and the cheapest one on the market right now is 70 doll hairs. So the Pix's gimmick is that there's a camera, and the camera is really, really, really low quality, of course, which can be cute and charming. And you use the camera a lot to do stuff in the game, like you use it for cooking, for instance. And it's actually pretty fun. Here's my Pix. In 2021, I got mine from Target. Oh, and I changed out the faceplate for mine. I customized the faceplate for the Pix. Yeah, so as you can see, the button kind of mashes down like this, and that's how you take the picture, and there's the camera lens. Mine's got a silicone like thingy on it, but so the cheapest one on the market right now is $70, probably because they didn't stop production all that long ago, and also I'm not sure that they were incredibly popular. I mean, I think it's fun. Here's one gripe I have about the Pix, and something a lot of people didn't like, is that it doesn't have real buttons. It just has these touch-sensitive little pads, and those don't always work right, obviously. So we really like the tactile buttons, and I don't think Bandai tried that again. I think that they heard us the first time about that. I like that there's a cooking system. I like that you can have a little garden in this version, which you could never have before. There's a lot of games on this version. Your Tamagotchi has social media and can post on it. There's no point in it, but it's just kind of cute. It was fun. It was just not the most fun. And it's not the one I reach for when I get the itch to run a Tamagotchi and I want to go put some batteries in one and boot it up. It's just not the Pix that I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna put it here because honestly, if I saw one at a yard sale or a thrift store, I don't know if I would even grab it. Yeah, it's really mean. Okay, next we've just got two left, okay? We've got the Tamagotchi Uni. It was released in 2023 and it retailed at $60. I think that the Unis are a formidable foe. First of all, they can be worn like a watch. That is a callback actually to the really early versions of the Tamagotchi from the era before the first color Tamagotchi to have a simultaneous global release. So that means that it was released in Japan and the US and a bunch of other countries, like 12 countries I think, all at the same time. So it was a major, major release. The Uni has a lot of content on it. It takes a long time for it to get boring, which I really appreciate. The Uni feels like something you can play for a long time. It has Wi-Fi connectivity, first time ever. It has a USB-C charging port, first time ever, that it doesn't take batteries. It is very small and compact compared to all of the Tamagotchis. I mean, it's the same size as a connection, pretty much. And it's thin, even though it's the highest tech so far.
Those are big deals because the Wi-Fi connectivity allows for Bandai to send updates and hold monthly tournaments. That means they send us all kinds of goodies, special items, and gotchi points to our mailboxes regularly. So you're getting all kinds of cool stuff to dress your Tamagotchi in for free, straight from Bandai, just for playing with it. And that is all because they can send out updates because of the Wi-Fi. The uni is all about wearables, I feel like. It's all about styling your Tamagotchi. Like getting cool stuff to make your Tamagotchi look cute or however you want it to look is pretty much what this version is about, in my opinion. Because your Tamagotchi can now wear 4 wearables at once. Yes, 4! A hat accessory, a face accessory, a body accessory, and a back accessory. You have the most control over their room and furniture than ever before. So you can, and because of all the wearables, you can make some very unique, intricate looking avatars. So it kind of makes up for the absence of gene mixing, if you think about it, because you can still make a very unique looking Tamagotchi. But instead of with gene mixing, you can do it with wearables. I really do love the uni. I think that it was peak, maybe. I think it was peak. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it here in S tier because the uni really was great. I have 2 of them. I would take a third one. I would absolutely snag it if I saw one for sale somewhere. And I just think that the USB-C, the Wi-Fi connectivity, the small compact shell, the wearable as a watch, like all of those things make it a really good iteration. So she deserves her place in the S tier. Okay, let's move on to the most recent Tamagotchi, which is the Tamagotchi Paradise. So I guess this video also counts as sort of a review for the Paradise as well. First thoughts about it. Does it look a little cheap to you? I mean, because it just feels a little cheap in your hand, is what I noticed immediately about it. It's got these big cartoony buttons and this dial here. So for this version, our gimmick is the dial, which we use to zoom in. And, okay, so in the older versions, your Tamagotchi would get married and have a baby, and then it would leave you or die. In this version, like, every Tamagotchi that you raised stays on the planet. And you're raising the new egg, and you're focused on the new egg, but all of the old Tamagotchis are still on the planet and populating the planet, which is cute. I like that. I do like that they can play together. They can play with their parents, and you can put out toys for them to play with, and that's really cute. Like, I like the idea. Um, when I found out that there was gene mixing coming back to this version, I was fucking stoked, and I knew I had to get it. But then I was a little disappointed because the gene mixing was not as in depth as with the on. Now it's just the body color and eye type, I think. But it's kind of cool because like you change their environment. You can put them in the land, the water, or the air, and all these things cause it to evolve into something different. Like what you feed it and where you let it live and all these things. So it's kind of cool. I mean, it's a really cool concept. But here are my gripes. Okay? It does not have USB-C. It went back to AA batteries. It does not have Wi-Fi connectivity. It's big again. The Uni was nice and small. Very technologically advanced. Now we're back to big and bulky. We're back to not rechargeable. Doesn't have Wi-Fi. Can't update itself. And is that as if those weren't all obvious cost-cutting measures? It doesn't even connect via infrared anymore. Like, even the connections from 2004 connect via infrared, and these don't even do that anymore. They dock physically. And I don't know, I know that's not entirely new for Tamagotchis, but I just feel like it is obviously to cut costs, right? Because it's cheaper for them to connect physically than it is to keep using the infrared. I mean, I don't know. Is that a stretch? I think that it looks like it was for cost cutting, and in the absence of rechargeability, it looks like it was for cost cutting. And I think that it's worth noting that this Tamagotchi is $45 retail when its predecessor and its predecessor before that were 60 plus dollars. They were 60 plus, now it's $45. The new one is 40, the new one's cheaper. When does that ever happen? So yeah, I think that Bandai obviously took cuts to make that happen. Not saying that's good or bad, I'm just saying that looks like the case. Some good things about this version is that I do find it easier to keep it alive. I do like that it's a little planet. There's a lot of characters in this one and over 50,000 combinations, so I like that. It's cute, it's really cute, and I like it, but I feel myself getting bored already, and I'm gonna go back to the uni. I'm gonna go back to its predecessor. So this is really cute, and I just wish they had not cut such amazing features that the uni had. The Paradise would have been an amazing game if it had just Wi-Fi connectivity. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the Paradise. I don't know if I'm gonna buy another one. Like, if I really like a Tamagotchi, I like to buy two so that I can connect them and have them get married and stuff. I'm on the fence about buying another Paradise. Kind of, she's got to be in B or C. Is she better than the Pix? Yeah, it's better than the Pix. So yeah, I'll put it in the B tier. So yeah, that is my official verdict. That is every Tamagotchi that I have experience with thus far. There's a lot more than that, obviously. Tamagotchi, I mean, Bandai has released like hella Tamagotchis. Like, there's no way I could have one of every single one. But yeah, this is all of the ones I have experience with. And okay, so that is going to conclude my rambling about my special interest time. Thank you so much for listening to me chit chat about this. And I heard a rumor that there's a glitch going on with my channel that only really cool hot people can subscribe. So you can, like, if you could test that out for me and let me know if it works, that would be a huge favor. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye!